Party with your host, Dustin Rybka.
Hello and welcome to Sex Party. I'm your host, Dustin Rybka, and I hope you are feeling fabulous. I hope you're feeling wonderful. How are you feeling? Slide over to my Instagram, drop a comment, drop a DM. I'm generally curious as to how everybody is doing, how everyone's holding up, how everyone's well-being is. Is it, where mine is? Questionable. In this week's episode, I talk with Shawn Jacobson, the host of the Titties podcast. And in our conversation, we talk a little bit about BDSM. We talk about haters and what that's like, hosting a sex and relationships podcast. In the back half of the episode of the interview, you're going to learn what a MUNCH is. It was my first time learning what a MUNCH is, and now it is your turn. So enjoy my conversation with Shawn Jacobson.
This week's conversation.
Shawn Jacobson, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah?
Was that a depressing answer?
No, I mean, it's a good answer. I think well is
Better
well.
than bad.
You look well,
Really? I just said I looked stale, so.
No, I think that that's incorrect. I think that you look healthy and lively and fun, and I think that's that's an important. You look well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm just I just started a full-time job, and let me tell you, I'm not cut out for this life. 9 to 6. Who let that happen? And America's the American dream, you gotta work. So why?
No.
Do I have to work like this to make no money? It's fucking stupid. But anyway, so that's update.
It's just another thing that you're not allowed. You're a woman. You shouldn't ever come. You should never talk about coming. You should go to work. That's all complete and total shit. I don't have to tell you that. But that's why you're here. That's why I started this podcast, because I want to just rally against some shit, but also learn some stuff.
Yeah.
And I think you're the perfect person.
Okay, let's talk some shit. I'm ready.
Yeah. So you are the host of the Tough Titties podcast. Okay. Yeah. Researching you. I listened to a few episodes. I gotta say, and
I'm scared.
this is the people that know me, and whatever, they know I don't bullshit. I gotta say, I'm a huge fan, and I feel kind of fanboy a little bit right now.
Shut up!
I swear to God, I'm gonna have her on my show, and I'm gonna be a month from now, I'm shit, I'm on episode 14, can you come back? You know what I mean?
I'll come back whenever.
It's really, it's informative and it's cool, but I just think, again, I'm not blowing smoke. I swear. You're going to think I am, and I'm not. Okay. I just think that you're a fucking gangster.
Oh my God.
You're just really, really real, and you're not afraid.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was a little afraid. But now I'm just I don't really give a fuck,
Yeah.
I don't know what your family or friends are like and how they feel about, this podcast and stuff like that. But I have had a friend that I've had for over 10 years. Literally my neighbor went to school with her, a childhood friend, and she was the fact that you're talking about your clit and your daddy issues on the internet, I can't be your friend anymore. And we haven't talked since. So.
How long ago was that?
She decided she was going to tell me that literally the day before my birthday. So February 5th.
Oh, wow.
I know. Fucking
Happy
bitch.
birthday. That's crazy. What the fuck?
I know. I was okay, you go listen to Wet Ass Pussy and chill with that. But when I do it, it's wrong. Go fuck yourself. So I hope that doesn't happen to you.
I think it probably will. I think that I'll probably get dragged out into the street and just ripped from limb to limb at some point. But that's only
by who?
I don't know, like Christians or something. I don't know.
Fuck the
Sure.
Christians.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people like for the most part, like my family is aware I'm doing this, and they're very very supportive. Not a lot of people know because I'm like in the recording phase right now. So when
Right.
you're listening to this, like surprise. Yeah, and and the show is called Sex Party, and then it's I mean, I just want to have fun. I have questions. I have a certain way that I believe and whatever, but I'm also very open minded, and like I'm so fucking tired of like this is what you should do. This blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's just a bunch of shit that we need to like really tackle. And so when I saw your podcast and I listened to it, even before I listened to it, I just like one of the little clips you had on your Instagram. I was like, dude,
Which one was it?
I gotta get her on the fucking show. It wasn't this last episode. It was something like you were just straight out with like pussy, balls, dick, like whatever. I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then it was like, I feel like from my perspective, you were very kind of like a little bit like I am. You were pushing against this idea that people have to be a certain way, and in your case, that women have to be a certain way. And it was like this rebellious sort of thing. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't even know her, and we already vibe. So I have to get her on my show.
We did vibe. The DMs
Gotta get
were
her on the
wild.
show. Yeah, they were great. and that's the thing is, I'm like, this will be a magic episode. And I want to like ask you. So January 2020. You start this podcast.
I did.
And then COVID hits.
Yeah.
So what was that experience like? Where you're talking about sex and then boom. So
I actually started it in January 2021 because of COVID.
Oh, okay.
So the backstory here is my friends were like, a little less sexually explorative, aka they're a little less slutty than I was. And so I was living in LA for a semester. So I was like fresh out of a breakup too. Okay. So I was like, let me go get these beautiful men and just see what the fuck goes down. And so I would come back to my apartment and be like, guys, like, you will literally never believe what the fuck this guy did or whatever, just needed to talk shit, basically. And my friends were like, Sean, literally, this wouldn't happen to anybody but you. And I don't know if it's because you're like putting yourself in these situations or you're just like fucking unlucky. And I'm like, probably both. And so we started talking about a podcast, like how I should have one because of these stories. And the idea kind of started there, which was in 2019, but I was still in school, and podcasting is honestly like a full-time fucking job, which I'm sure you've noticed. It's a lot of fucking work.
I'm finding that out. Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And so I was just like, I need to just graduate and then we'll see what the fuck happens with my life. And so I was supposed to graduate May 2020, which I did. I graduated, but I didn't graduate like the regular way. Like I had a little dumbass YouTube video that was like, yay. And I was like, I literally put makeup on for this. Bye. And so, yeah, it was really fucking lame. And I went to school for television, radio, and film. And, the entertainment industry took like a big hit at the beginning of COVID. They like furloughed a shit ton of people. They weren't hiring anybody. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess we'll just wait until this COVID thing's done. Cause at the time we didn't know, like I had no idea that it was going to last this long. And so I kept fucking waiting and waiting. And I was literally like, my days were just, I would wake up, play with my bunny. I have a pet bunny. Not people think I'm talking about my vagina. I'm not.
I thought for sure. I thought for sure that's where we were going. Yeah.
No, I have a pet rabbit. He's really cute. I'll show you later. But play with my bunny, do some arts and crafts. Like it was really a waste of my fucking time. But I was just waiting, and then it got to January, and I was like, bruh, I don't think this is going anywhere anytime soon. And like, there were no job listings for me at like anything that I was interested in, and I was just like, I think God's trying to tell me something, you know? And so that's kind of how I pulled the trigger on that. But yeah, I mean, I think because of COVID is what gave me the opportunity to, you know, give me that time to actually do that, because if I went straight into the workforce, I would have never done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's amazing, because that's a net positive that you started it, because it was on your mind in 2019, and then boom. You know what I mean? Like, now you have the time. And I think a lot of people either did something or didn't, and it's okay if you didn't. I mean, we didn't all start a podcast, just a few of us.
I think a lot of people probably did.
Yeah, but it's okay if you didn't. Like, if you just watched like fucking, and you know, you season fucking whatever over and over again, cool, man. Because like, I know some days with the COVID shit, I'm just like, especially in the beginning, I'm like, what is like,
I cried a lot.
You're at the start. I feel like a lot of people did, you know.
Did you cry?
I didn't cry. I'm not a crier.
Oh my God.
I want to be a
crier. I want to make you
but I'm
cry
just
so bad.
I'm just no, I bet. Yeah, I give off that energy, I feel like. But I did have like some serious fucking anxiety.
Yeah.
Like some like unexplained sort of like, what is this mess? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I just felt like, and I do feel like things are super weird. I mean, we're not really even through it yet. We aren't, maybe, I don't know, check back tomorrow.
It's like
whatever.
A weird middle ground kind of.
Yeah. And that's cool, because I feel like we're in a better place with it, as they say, but it's still like a thing. And we still have to like figure it. It's basically like a Thanos snap.
We're
happened.
Like still
and, you know,
traumatized by it. Like, will we ever go back to before? I have no fucking idea.
I don't think so. I think we'll go back to something better eventually, but I think it's going to take a little work to get there, because people are just like fighting over things. First it was like, you know, toilet paper or something.
Oh my God.
And now it's like fucking who's the president, and just stupid, and they're fighting a lot, and it's not cool, and that just compounds anxiety. So with that being said, you start this podcast project, and it's on like sexual stuff. You're like, fuck it, this is me. I'm gonna be as graphic as I want to be. Does that then add anxiety to your life? Like, your friends are like, fuck you, I'm not hanging out with you talking about the clit. I gotta get out of this mess or whatever. Like, so was it like joy and like pain, or was it more like, oh God, I shouldn't have done this? Or like, what, you know?
That's a good question. I don't think I've really ever regretted it, to be honest with you. Because I'm like, I actually really enjoy doing what I do. You know, obviously like losing friends over it didn't feel good. But I'm just like, these bitches are just prude as fuck. Like, why do I want to hang out with them anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like I was even I wasn't even asking her to listen to it. I'm just like, just support me. And she was like, I literally cannot because of what you're talking about. And I'm like, oh, I just like, you know, I never knew how, I guess, conservative, you could say, that she was until then. I'm like, how can you listen to music and stuff that's like degrading women and blah, 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 and saying the words that I say, but like with rhythm. But when I say it and I'm like talking about it with experts, you could say, and talking about things that people don't fucking talk about because we get weirded out about it for some reason, that it's an issue. I'm like, is it just because it's me and you know me? Like, I don't understand that. So yeah, that was hard. But now I'm just kind of like, fuck that bitch. Like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
For sure.
It's been a ride.
And maybe she's like, just was really jealous. Like, you ever think of that, or?
I mean, no. Like people, my sister,
No.
my sister, when I told her about it, she was like, she's definitely jealous that she can't like do and talk the way that you do, blah blah blah. And I'm like, it just doesn't seem like that. It just seems very judgmental. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, my fucking mother knows what I'm doing, and like, she doesn't know details. Like, I don't tell her like, hey mom, I recorded today with a kink educator and we talked about bondage. Like, no, I'm not telling her that. And she doesn't even have a Facebook, so she doesn't even really know what a podcast is.
Oh
So
yeah.
so if my mom's just like, go off, like, I want you to keep doing it type of thing. Like, she's very
Yeah.
supportive of it, which is great. Like, she doesn't want to listen to me talking about my sex stories and stuff, but she's down. So I'm like, why can't my fucking friend be down? If my mom approved, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, you outgrow people, and sometimes you just don't think it's going to be the people that you've known for like a long time, you've been friends with for a long time. You never think it's going to be those people, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I think, she can't talk about her clit on the podcast because she's not comfortable with herself, like that's a
Right.
huge thing. Like, all kidding aside, like the stuff that you're doing takes fucking strength and confidence and like enough to just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna throw myself in the battlefield and do it because
Right.
you're gonna take some shit or whatever. And like,
Yeah.
that was the thing for me is like I'm just starting to have those conversations with my mom. Like, hey, I talked to, like,
You are?
and yeah, I'm like, my mom is insanely intelligent, open, crazy, powerful, strong woman, and I've always gone to her like as a mother, but as a friend. She's just fucking incredible. And my grandmother was too. All my sisters are. So it's like a whole,
You're a
you
woman
know,
lover, huh?
group of strong women. Yeah. And so it's like she's like, I don't think she's like watches Nikki Glazer and she's like, I'm not some idiot. I'm like, all right, I know. But it's your mom. And I'm like, I was like, Mom, I think I'm gonna do this thing where it's like we're gonna have a rating system before each episode. It's gonna be rated like SM or NM, and it's gonna be like safe mom, not for mom or something. Like she's like, don't do that. And I was like, all right, fine, I won't. But I'm like, when you get knee deep in an episode, and if it's me talking about some personal situation, just log off if you mean, because whatever.
Yeah.
And she's like, stop warning me, it's fine. I'm like, all right, cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm fully prepared to take shit. I hope I take a ton of shit from people.
I've had people like random, of course it's like the random guys that don't have any pictures on their profile, but they always are like, say something about my appearance, not about the content.
Oh God, really?
They're like, yeah, they'll say like something about me being ugly, and I'm like, honey, don't try me, I'm beautiful.
You do know that means that they're fucking jealous. I'm not just saying this over and over again. You do realize that means they're insecure as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Good, because like, and imagine the energy it takes to see a woman and then go start a fucking fake Instagram account, come up with a name like Roy Boy 1241 or whatever, right? And it's taken, Roy Boy 1242. Not put a picture, right?
Yeah.
And then go find you, add, and be like, you're ugly.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of energy. Like,
I know.
Could have been spent on anything else in the world, and they chose to spend it on you.
I know.
That's where I'm coming from. I mean,
haters gonna
I don't
hate,
want,
but guess what?
They are.
It's all free publicity. Thank you.
Yeah, this is true. This is very, very true. And that's a good thing for what you do. So how has this podcast talking about
my clit?
Everything under the sun. Well, we could start alphabetical, like anal, and go all the way through anal, clit, orgasm, gangbang. I just messed it up, but you get the fucking point, right?
Right.
All of these topics, these were things you were interested in prior, or did one interest just lead to another, lead to another, lead to another?
Good question.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome. That's a good. I don't really know. I think let me think about that. I think I wasn't really interested in like understanding people's minds when it comes to sex until I started therapy. And a lot of the behaviors that I had, my therapist was like, no, that's not normal. We need to fix that. And I think therapy kind of led me into thinking a little bit more about like interpersonal relationships and how weird people are. Like people are so fucking weird, and like and even when it comes to sex, I think we're all fucking. Like I say that all the time. Like we're literally all fucking, but it's like the one thing that nobody wants to talk about. Like why?
Preach.
So I think it started in therapy, and then as I started talking to more people and like doing more research, like I was just like kind of Googling stuff, whether it be about like relationships or dating or sex. I was like reading about common like themes and stuff. And then one of those themes that really caught my attention was BDSM. And so I joined a lot of like Facebook BDSM groups. I joined this website called FetLife, which is really a crazy fucking website. But I joined it, and at first I was like, I kind of just want to have somebody on my podcast who's in the lifestyle, to be like, what the fuck is this? Because the only like mainstream stuff that we see about BDSM is 50 Shades of Grey. And a lot of the stuff that I was reading was like people who are actually in that lifestyle fucking hate 50 Shades of Grey because it's not how it is.
Right.
And so at first, I think I kind of just wanted to talk about it. And then, the more people that I talked to and interviewed, like just one-on-one before I even like took it to the podcast, I was like, I think I like this for myself. And so
that's awesome.
So I kind of like took it more as like a personal thing, just wanting to learn more because it's like a huge umbrella. There's so many fucking people that are in the lifestyle, as they say, in one way or another. But I think it went from there. And once I joined like those BDSM communities, I started learning about shit that I've like never heard of before. And then it kind of spiraled. And so here we are.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So you got into it. Did you start practicing BDSM? Like, did you order a gag ball off Amazon, or what happened?
Okay, well, I was trying to find myself a dom because hot, but unfortunately, a lot of them, at least in Florida, which is another
Wait, go back and
topic,
explain what that even is.
A dom?
For people, yeah. Oh no, you said dom. I thought you said dog. I'm like,
no,
wait a minute.
Like a dom
term I don't know. Yeah.
Short for dominant.
Never mind. We know what a dom is here.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So none of them look like Christian Grey, unfortunately.
They look like Grey Christian.
Yeah, like real, and the people on this FetLife website are really fucking weird. Like, sorry if you're on it, you're weird. I'm on it, so I'm weird, so it's fine. But like, I've had like 70-year-old men message me and be like, I'm looking for a live-in slave if you wanna. And what? sir, I'm sorry. Like, I'm still in my prime right now. You think I'm gonna go for a fucking 70-year-old? Get out of my face. I'm like, this is just rude. So, yeah, I never really actually got into the realm. I talked to a lot of people. I went on a few dates that did not go well, and I went to they call it a munch. Do you know what that is?
Oh boy. No, I don't, but I'm very curious.
Okay, so a munch is like a vanilla event, like a regular person event for kinky people to all hang out together. So it was like a bar situation. They rented out the bar, I guess, and there were like pool tables and pizza and whatever, but everyone there was
Pizza?
Yeah.
So it's like a pizza party. Is that vanilla?
Yeah. Okay, but hold on.
Okay.
It started out as a pizza party, and then they had a demonstration, okay? I reeled in a guy friend that I made actually on FetLife. And then we just ended up becoming friends. And I was like, this kid is like normal. He's my age and he's like really good looking, but like we both were kind of scared to do anything with anyone. So we were kind of just like, let's go to this thing together and see what happens. So I wasn't by myself, but we're doing the pizza party. We're playing pool and everyone there is like 50 years old plus at least. Like there is fully somebody there with an oxygen tank. And I'm like, okay. So
were they eating pizza?
Yeah, everyone was eating pizza. And everyone was eating pizza. Just so old, ugly. Like just no. Like there was no one to even flirt with, like honestly. And the night goes on and then they're like, okay guys, it's time for the demonstration. And I was like, what is that? What does that mean? So everybody gathers and this guy just starts taking off all his clothes, like gets fully naked in the bar. This is why they had to rent it out.
Legal issues.
Ooh, just wait. Your penis is gonna shrivel. Unless you're into this stuff, then you might get hard. But
I can't wait.
So he gets fully naked. He is a sub. He's been with his dom, who's a woman, for like, I think at least like 5 years. So they've been together a while. He has property of A, which is her name, tattooed above his penis.
Oh, tattooed.
Yeah, like permanently tattooed above his penis.
So is this property of A, but does it say her name or does it just A?
Just A. I think they may have ran out of room. And I'm like, and me and my friend are looking at each other like, what the fuck is about to go down? And I'm like turning to the people next to me like, what's happening? And they're like, they're gonna do a CBT demonstration. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
We're gonna take a pause right there. So I'm realizing that maybe you should explain what is a dom in the BDSM world? What is a dom? Let's just do it because we might as well.
Okay, so if you've seen 50 Shades of Grey, I'm going to lay it out as simple as possible. If you've seen 50 Shades of Grey, Christian Grey is the dom. What the fuck is her name? She's the sub. The main character girl. She's the sub.
Dominant, dom short for dominant.
Yeah.
And sub short for submissive. So now we have that power dynamic explained.
And so there's a whole power dynamic. Everyone who's like in one of those relationships, they kind of all have like different like rules and stuff like that. But essentially the dom is in control of the sub. So there are people that live this power dynamic 24/7. It's not just a sexual thing. So for example, the 70-year-old man who asked me to be his live-in slave, literally he wanted me to live in his house. He would probably keep me like in a room, or like some people get caged like a dog. And
there we go. There's
the
thing from
dog thing.
earlier.
And so, yeah, some people live it 24/7 where like they're not allowed to talk to anybody unless their master or their dominant approves of it. Like it can get very strict, and I think that does it does scare me a little bit. Like I think it can be dangerous, but to each their own.
For sure.
Then there's like, what I wanted to do, which is just like live it in the bedroom, like I think that's really hot. And so that's as easy as I can put it. Like if you're just doing it in the bedroom, the dominant, takes control, kind of like throws you around a little, maybe ties you up, does stuff to you, stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and that's for me personally in my personal life, and I've said it a jillion times, the only time I'm ever interested in controlling a woman is like in the bedroom with consent for that amount of time. And then afterwards, like, let's just be nice to each other. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to control where you go. I've never been interested in that. And it's something I want to explore with the show is like, where the fuck is that coming from? But anyway,
that's coming from a long fucking time ago. But anywho.
Yeah, we can get to that too. So you're at the pizza party.
Yeah.
And you're looking over to see if there's a slice of pepperoni left.
No.
CBT and then the CBT demonstration.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay, so what
you're gonna do a CBT.
What do you think CBT stands for, Dustin?
Cognitive behavioral.
Nope, it's definitely not cognitive behavioral therapy.
California buck bed teriyaki.
No, think sexual. Think sexual. What could that possibly be?
Cock.
Yep.
Balls.
Mm-hmm. What's the T?
Transfusion.
Torture.
God damn it. Like, I didn't think of that. What the fuck, man? What's wrong with me?
And so I say, what is CBT? And they're like, oh, duh, cock and ball torture. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn to my friend and I'm like, ball torture? What the hell does that mean? And this guy's like fully naked, like so excited for his dom to like do this to him. And in front of people, I'm like, first of all, he's ass naked, like no socks, no like fully everything is off. And I'm like, wow, I could never fully get butt ass naked in front of this crowd of people. But anyway,
that's like part of it for him, right?
I think so. Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's like the humiliation aspect. Yeah. Which is like, I get it, but also I'm not that confident, And so oh God, his dom starts, putting like hair, like butterfly hair clips and attaching them to his penis. And like, as soon as she starts with that, like he starts getting hard from it. And I'm like, what? And then she takes a huge knife and starts like chopping them, like slicing it against his dick. And like all of the clips keep like bing, bing, like flying off. And I'm like, what? Then she takes a fucking rope and like wraps it really tight around his dick and then pulls it so it all unravels really fast. And he starts like, this is when the pain starts coming in.
Right. Someone get the pizza.
And I'm like, is this real? Am I watching this? I'm front row for this. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I'm watching. It's like when a dog's shitting, you're like, like you can't stop looking, but you're like, I don't really want to see this. You know what I mean? And so me and my friend are looking at each other like, what the actual fuck? What are we doing here? We do not belong here. And, so she keeps doing the rope thing, she's putting things on his dick. She's doing anything she can to like hurt his wiener, basically.
Did you get hit with a hair clip at all or anything?
No, I didn't. No, it was not like SeaWorld. Like there was no splash zone. And, so then I think following that, she's wearing like combat boots. Okay. And of course. She starts kicking him in the dick.
In the dick or the balls?
Both. Like, I don't know. Okay. Like, they're kind of close to each other.
Yeah, they
Probably
are.
both.
Normally
I
they
would
are.
say
Yeah.
I think it was affecting both areas because cock and ball
Sure.
torture, you know?
Just like, just going for it. Yeah.
Just like fucking ramming him there. And she will like squeeze his balls really fucking hard and like whatever. And then the part where I almost got like physically ill, like I actually like felt nauseous from this because I felt so bad. She takes like, I don't know what to call it. It definitely has a name, but it kind of looks like a mini lightsaber that electrocutes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, she starts electrocuting his dick, and I'm like, I can't watch this.
Was he screaming or was
No,
he
he would like bend over and like pain, and like his knees would go like inward, you know.
Oh, for God's sake!
But he loved it. But I was like, oh my God, blink twice if like you need help. Like I seriously. And I kept like, there was one couple that me and my friend were hanging out with all night because they were like the only normal people. And I kept turning to them like, is he good? Like, is he going to be able to have children after this? And they were like, don't worry. Like, he literally loves this. Like, can you not see his wiener? It's like so excited. And I was like, I guess like any other guy, their dick would not be hard.
Right.
And I think when the demonstration was over, he noticed how like concerned I was. Everyone else was like, cool. All the other like female doms were recording. They were like, this is great. Like they loved it. And I was like, is he gonna be okay? Like very worried for this man. And he comes up to me and I'm like, are you sure you like that? Like, and he's like, oh my God, I love it. And I'm like, okay, like as long as you like it, I guess it's fine. And he's like,
bleeding everywhere.
No, there was no blood, thank God. If there was, I'd be out. But there are people that are into that.
Yeah.
Which freaks
for
me
sure.
the fuck out. But yeah, he was trying to explain to me like, you know, I'm like into pain, I guess, but like to that extreme, no, I haven't gotten there yet. But he was like, you know, I've been in this lifestyle a long time and, you know, my legs get stronger and stronger as the time goes on. And so, yeah, I love it. And I'm like, okay. And me and my friend are like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Wow. So you took off after that?
Well, the night was like over after. Yeah. You can't, what else are you going to do after that?
It was like electrocuting this guy's penis for fucking 2 hours.
It was wild.
Yeah. I mean, so having been through that, then did that dissuade you from BDSM for a while? Or were you like, I'm kind of more, so you still, explored those
I mean, I was still
desires.
like, you know, lurking, but I still like never found anyone that I got to that point with. But recently, I have a thing for older men, okay? Daddy issues. We talked about this at the beginning, that I have a clit and I have daddy issues. But anyway.
Sure.
So I have a thing for older guys. I'm 23 and I was seeing this guy like a year ago who's 43. So like strict 20-year difference right there. Hot though. Right. I don't date ugly old guys, you know, just like the hot ones. And he kind of like resurfaced as they do, you know, and basically I kind of was like, us being romantic, like us dating just doesn't work. Like we've tried, like you fucking suck, basically is what I said. But we've talked about this and like, I know that we both want to explore BDSM stuff. And like, I've already had sex with him. So like, I know he's not going to fucking kill me. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And so I was like, if you're down, I'd be down for that. And he was like, yeah, come over. And so that was the first time that I had like a ball gag and all that shit, which was hot. But then this is why I remembered, this is why I stopped fucking talking to this bitch. He was like, hold on, let me go downstairs really quick. I need a drink. And I was like,
What?
okay, whatever. But he comes
Okay.
back up and he's like, let me check my Bitcoin.
What?
I'm
You're
like,
kidding.
I literally am in handcuffs.
But was that part of the act? Was that maybe he was like trying to like
No. Because then
let me check my Bitcoin?
So then he goes and he's like I don't know what the fuck he does. I don't even understand Bitcoin, but apparently it's like a 24-hour a day thing that you always have to.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, you have a fully naked girl who's 20 years younger than you in your bed. You have her literally bondaged or whatever the fuck you call it with a ball gag. Like, you can't just leave her. Like, what? And he's like, let me check this really quick. But then really quick was not really quick anymore.
Right, because he's texting all of his friends like, dude, Ethereum is through the roof right now. And you're like, oh, with a ball gag in your mouth trying to, trying to figure out.
That has been my only experience. It was really great. Before that, though, it was good. So, like, I would totally try again. Just not with him because...
Yeah, because he's a bit boy or whatever we're calling that. Yeah, whatever, Bitcoin.
I'm just like, no wonder you're single at 43. Fucking
man,
bitch.
There's like a lot.
Men
there's
ain't
a lot
shit, Dustin.
there.
That's all I have to say. I rest my case.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
I know. See, you know. That's why you don't get offended.
It's all good. No, I don't get offended. Yeah, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, right. I feel like that. Wow, there's a lot there.
It's a lot to unpack, you know.
You could really jump in any direction.
Take it how you want it, sweetheart.
Yeah, for sure. I will. And I think like that is an amazing example of how the show then sort of influenced your true real life desires and you started diving into things.
Yeah.
Has there been anything that you've been really shocked to learn sexually or about dating or about like you just had someone on the show and you're like, what the, like, are you serious? And it like kind of changed your perception of.
No one has been able to convince me that men aren't not shit. you know,
that's a tough
hard.
one.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I still get surprised every day about things that people are into.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, this is the best example. I had a kink educator on my show, and I don't remember like how we started talking about it, but she told me she's really into having guys pee inside of her.
Inside of her.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be like would that be like a health thing? It would just really burn or something.
She likes
it.
I was
okay,
like,
and what?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, again, to each their own, right? So, but that is a little.
It's not like stereotypical.
No, not at all.
Sexual lives. Yeah.
Did she elaborate on why she likes that?
I don't remember specifically like what about it she likes. I think the feeling must feel good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably kind of feels like getting came.
Right.
What is the correct English for that? Cummed inside.
Cummed in.
Yeah, sure.
Came in.
You know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
But like more.
Right.
And maybe like steadier, like, you know,
like warmer.
I don't know what the fuck it was, but yeah, she was like, yeah, I have the guy drink a lot like a few days before to like flush everything out. So she seems to she's figured out a way to make it work for her. I don't think I would ever dare to do that because my vagina she's real sensitive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big step. That's a big step, like to be pissed inside of.
Yeah.
I've obviously heard of like people that love to be like pissed on.
Yep.
and all of that jazz.
Do you like that?
I don't. I've never peed on anyone.
Uh-huh.
I've never been peed on. I'm like I'm a very dominant lover, if that's what we're gonna categorize
Okay.
as. Um and I get that like urinating on someone is like a degrading thing. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally like whatever. But I've never really had the urge to pee on anyone. Not saying I wouldn't either. If someone asked for it, I guess I could try. I just haven't,
I get
I
stage
haven't.
fright.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is like you're like, okay, hang on. Like,
Right. Like, just stay right there.
Yeah.
Trying to get it out.
I didn't have my apple juice today, sugar free, or or whatever the fucking process is. Yeah. No, but I do feel like that's, I don't know, I used to hear about that a lot more than you do now, I feel like. I remember a girl I knew actually had like pictures leak on Facebook of her being urinated on by multiple men. And that was rude of them to do that. So
That was rude. Yeah, that was definitely rude. This is why I don't take nudes with my face in them. And I've never done like a video or anything because I don't fucking trust anybody.
see, I usually tell people like, I don't care what you, if I send it to you, have at it. I don't care. I mean, I'm doing a sex and relationships podcast. What do I, at this point, what do I have to, I'm going to sink my own ship. You know what I mean? Like, what's my
Yeah.
penis have to do with the fucking, I don't care. Whatever. So that's my energy when it comes to it. Like, you show anybody you want, show your friends, show your grandma in the nursing home, whatever,
She would like
so,
that.
but I don't, it doesn't, whatever. That's me.
Mhm.
That's just where I'm at. Maybe one day I'll be like, what was I thinking? But I doubt it. So, yeah, I mean, that's a whole other thing too, is like, people fucking abuse other people in other ways to feel powerful. Like, look at this nude of this girl. She thinks I'm hot. She sent me her tit or whatever. It's fucking mess. I'm sure like you
Yeah.
had situations that are disgusting that way too.
Of course. That's life being a girl, baby.
Yeah,
Life in the fast lane.
Yeah, it definitely is the fast lane. I mean, how have those sorts of things, being a woman doing a podcast about sex, you touched on it a little bit, right? Where dudes are like, "You're ugly," or whatever, like like
yeah.
So like, talk about, if you can, some of those, like, not to give it energy, but like, talk about a little bit of that, like the insecure trolley trolls like coming for you and shit because you're a woman.
I don't have too many trolls yet, unfortunately, except like those stupid like whatever, like nothing like too crazy. I posted a TikTok of a videogram that I made with a, a men's dating coach. And one of the first things I asked him was, do guys care about a woman's body count? And he was like, yeah, men do. And he was like, personally, I don't really care because I am also like a promiscuous person that I like, it doesn't bother me. But a lot of the guys that he works with that are like his clients, they care about it. And so I posted that little video of him saying that and on my TikTok, and I have so many guys being like, that just shows you're a whore. And I'm like, yeah, and
your point.
And
sir?
They're like, nobody's gonna want to like marry like a whore or whatever. And I'm like, bruh, like I could pull it up and read some of the comments, and it's just like some of the thinking is just so archaic. It's like there's just so many people out there, women included, that think that women aren't sexual beings.
Right.
And we are.
Of course. And it's
And
great.
yes, it's great, except, you know, it's just like the whole dichotomy of like, you know, men who sleep around like fuck yeah, you know, and it makes like that guy seem almost more attractive because other women want him.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if a girl was to do the same thing,
Yeah.
it like almost lessens her quality, if that makes sense. And so I'm just like, who made these rules? Because I'm fucked.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it's probably has something to do with religion and like misogynistic, like old dudes with giant beards or something. Like 400
Yes
years
and
ago or
no. Like, it's
2000. Yeah.
very weird. It's like a mix of guys my age and guys older guys. And I'm like,
Yeah.
hold on, I'm pulling this up right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that just highlights like men, you know, feel threatened, you know, by a powerful woman. And I feel like being a man, you either are just insanely threatened by it. How dare her? You know, she's out of her plate or whatever. Or you're really, really like fucking turned on by it. And like, I tend to be the latter. I don't know. There's just something about like a really powerful woman. It's, you know, and then like being able to like you have something with a really strong woman, and then, you know, you're dominant in the bedroom. You know, it's the whole thing, whatever. But I feel like you should be able to separate it out. Like, okay, in the bedroom, like it's I'm this way or whatever. But like, who doesn't? If you're with somebody or you like somebody, like who doesn't want to celebrate that shit?
I
Like that
know.
person's power or whatever. Like, I don't know. It feels like it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
You know?
So these people, there's one guy who's like talking about how you would want to buy a new car over a rental car. He said, it's getting rode hard and returned, but on one I'm gonna buy, I need that Carfax. I said, why are we comparing a human to a car?
Yikes.
Like, even that is like so degrading, you know? And
yeah, for sure.
it's just like, yeah, 100% we care if you're looking for a serious partner.
Fuck off.
And then this fucking turd. Nah, a girl with hundreds of bodies is a demon.
Oh God. What fucking fantasy novels is he reading?
What a pathetic question. And you know the answer if you already have to lie. So, yeah, I mean, like, shit like that. Like, I have people like that, whatever. I don't care because I'm just like, I mean, actually, I do care because not about that specific video, but like, I care that there are still people that think that way. And sometimes it like makes me question if I'll ever like get married sometimes because I'm like, damn, there are a lot of guys who don't love the fact that I do this. There are a lot of guys who care about body count, and I'm like, oh God, like there are a lot of guys who have like all these fucking like rules about girls they're gonna date. I mean, girls have them too, but it's like around sexual stuff, if that makes sense. Like, I've had a guy stop talking to me because I got a fucking routine STD test at my annual gyno appointment.
What the hell? He stopped talking to you because you got the test.
He's like, that must mean you're a whore. I was like, or they just fucking do it on everyone every year.
Where is this? Is this all happening in Florida?
So yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's just Florida.
Yeah, see, I don't know what the fuck is up here. I'll tell you that. I gotta move.
Oh God, yeah, you got to get out of there. Either that or just go and like try to spend some time on the water. I don't know. I mean, Cannibal Island or something. I don't know. It's fucking.
I don't know.
I mean,
men out here like out of control.
No wonder. Of course it's Florida. Jesus, come on, Florida.
It's always Florida. I know. I hate telling people that I'm from Florida. I'm like, don't judge me.
Yeah.
I wasn't meant to be here.
Florida and Texas fucking everything up for everybody else. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Not the best. God.
Get out of there. So so does that sort of stuff like getting, I mean, you said you care, right? But like, does it also empower you to like keep going? Like, oh, you think that's something? Like, wait till you see that, you know, in the next show you
not so much in the way that you were saying it, like, wait till you see this. I'm kind of just like, damn, I hope like if I keep talking about this kind of stuff, maybe people will soon realize that, you know, the way that they're thinking is kind of shitty, and like the easiest way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, again, I have so many questions for so many people, so that's part of it. Mm-hmm. And two, like, I like having my own show. I just, you know, I guess I'm a fucking narcissist or whatever. Mm-hmm, but and then on top of it, like, I also like feel a certain kind of way, like, about just the way things are that are like, it's kind of gross, and I'm just kind of like, fuck it, let's attack it, you know. But like, I'll be okay, like, if they're angry sending me like hate mail, sure.
Yeah, you want some like, verbal abuse, not physical.
Yeah, like, because that means you're doing a good job, right? You're pissing people off. Yeah, and I would imagine like with your stuff, like you're gonna piss off some pretty weak dudes. Like they're threatened because you have a show that's approaching 40 episodes. You're on episode 38 as of this recording. Mm-hmm. Do you have any big plans for your 50th episode? For your 50th?
I haven't even thought about it.
Oh, come on. You know, I bet you have plans for your 50th, your 100th.
No, I've thought about like, not 50th, but like my year mark, which I feel like it might be the same, but it might be like a little off. Might be like more than 50 because there's 52 weeks in a year, but also like, I don't know, I've skipped some episodes and stuff, so it might be like a little later than a year. I don't know. I've thought about it. Are you
stressing about it?
No, because it's kind of like a while away, I feel like. 4, 8, 12, 16. It's like 5 months away, kind of.
It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Well, if you have any ideas of what I should do.
Yeah, we could probably rent a bar and get some pizzas.
Who the fuck is paying for that?
We'll do a CBT demonstration with that guy you met.
No, I'm going to do it to you.
That would be not something that I feel like anybody would. Actually, there's probably a lot of people who don't like me that would love to see that. So I'd be like, I'm not consenting to this. Let me go. Or whatever. You have to like chase me around. Mm-hmm. It would be
that would be a time.
Value. You could sell tickets to it, you know, whatever.
One day,
that's, you know.
One day I'll have a live show. I'd love to do that.
Yeah. So the Tough Titties podcast.
Yeah.
Every Titty Tuesday, right?
Titty Tuesday.
And people can find you on Instagram.
Yep.
Where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. So for the podcast, it's at the Tough Titties Podcast. And then if you want to follow me, I got hacked by the Russians. So I had to make a
God.
I know, fuck them. I had to make a new Instagram. I only have like 3 posts, but like if you want to follow that, it's it's your girl Shawn. My Twitter for Tough Titties is Tough Titties Pod, and then follow me on my TikTok because I want to be TikTok famous. That's Shawn_Jacobson because TikTok doesn't like the word titties, so I had to use my real name.
Oh my. Dude, what are they censoring people for? Wow.
I don't know. I'm like, there's 14-year-olds out here showing their assholes, but I can't use the word titties. Fuck out of here.
Exactly. Okay, so I have in the spirit of your show and some of the fun questions that you ask. I have a question.
Oh God.
It's a trivia question. There's a correct answer.
Okay.
And if you get it right, you don't win anything at all whatsoever. But if you get it wrong, then also there's no consequence.
Okay, so
maybe
stakes are low.
Maybe. So the stakes are low, but it's kind of a profound question. Okay.
Yeah.
So in 1967, the Beatles proclaimed,
I'm too young for this question.
Love.
Okay.
1967, the Beatles proclaimed, all you need is love.
Uh-huh.
Love is all you need. Is that still true in 2021? You got it right. The correct answer is no, we need food more than love, I think.
So for trivia question, I thought there would be
it wasn't even a trivia question.
But that was just opinion based.
Yeah, there's
did I agree with you or not? Was the question.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I mean, not necessarily. I mean, it's trivia-esque, so whatever. Whatever, man. I make the rules here.
You do. It's your podcast. You can do whatever you want.
It's my show.
I'm just here.
And that's it. Yeah. And
I'm just here for the
I'm just here. Party. Yeah, exactly. Shawn Jacobson.
Yes, Dustin.
You are a rock star. Seriously, everybody go fucking like and subscribe everything. Go follow her on Instagram. She's hilarious.
You're so kind. Send me money. My Venmo, I think, is Shawn Jacobson. I'm
there
poor.
You go. What about the Cash App?
Oh, hold on. My Cash App, I think, is Shawnee Jack because Sean Jacobson.
Oh, what about your Fet Life?
My Fet Life, I haven't been on that in a while, but who knows? I might venture back on there. But if you want to go see my face, I'm also one of the only people that puts their face as their profile picture, not their pussy. So you'll be able to find me easily. My username is Shawnee Girl.
Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Shawn Jacobson, the Tough Titties podcast, every Tuesday. Go follow her. Go love her. She's a fucking rock star. You're amazing. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Dustin.
I can't wait to have you back. You're amazing. Bye. My thanks to Shawn Jacobson for being on the show. Had a blast. Can't wait to have her back. And listen, guys, if you feel like you're in the mood to show some love, if you're enjoying the show, if you're a fan of Sex Party, you can show that in a couple ways. You could, go to the platform you're listening on. I don't know if it's Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon, whatever. You could subscribe to the show. You could leave a review. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, what's up? You could subscribe there too. You could also leave a comment. You could like. You can always reach out to me in the DMs on Instagram. You could slide into my DMs on Twitter. And you know what? I can't wait to see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. The party continues next week. Click subscribe and let's make this a regular thing. Follow the show on Instagram and Twitter at SexPartyFM. Follow Dustin at Dustin Rybka.